There was a lot of tension in the crowded courtroom, and the treachery was more obvious than before. Fans of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta were taken aback when Kirk Frost and Rasheeda entered Fulton County family court to begin a full-scale legal battle against Jasmine Washington, the mother of Kirk's one secret kid Cannon. Rather than to fight each other, following years of in the midst of side chick craziness, child support controversies, and behind-the-scenes intrigue, Jasmine has returned with one demand: complete custody. The fact that Rasheeda supported Kirk in court, however, stunned everyone. Her legal buddy was the same man who had embarrassed her with a public affair, and Jasmine arrived ready. "I'm so relieved that this is finished. You have to learn how to write Frost's last name, even though it's joint, which is wonderful. Here I am in Cheeseland." Such are screenshots, leaked video, and even a witness list that makes production insiders nervous. The child is no longer the focus of this. An insider in the courtroom muttered, "It's about revenge." There are rumors that Jasmine's attorney threatened to use Rasheeda's own texts as evidence and subpoenaed cast members. Kirk believed he was in charge until Jasmine changed everything. And now, one child, one judge, one shattered triangle. Who is going to take custody? And in front of everyone, who will lose everything? Season 12 billion of LHL just blew up, and it's possible that the Frost family may never get better. The courtroom was the tension between Rasheeda and Jasmine Washington could have boiled steel, but it was icy cold. 5 years had passed since Jasmine first shocked the Frost empire with the revelation that altered everything. During a scandalous affair, Kirk had fathered her son, Cannon. Chaos ensued. Emotional breakdowns, paternity testing, and a marriage that is barely hanging on. However, Jasmine returned to their lives with a single objective: full legal custody of her son. After all the commotion had purportedly subsided, she was playing chess instead of checkers this time. Rasheeda has tried for years to keep her family out of the public eye due to Kirk's previous choices. Despite her initial anguish, she rebuilt, forgave, and even took on the role of parent to Cannon. However, Rasheeda's forgiveness changed to rage when the court summons arrived and Jasmine accused her and Kirk of emotional negligence, deception, and obstructing maternal rights. Rasheeda muttered to a producer, "She wants to punish us for moving on," before entering the courtroom. Jasmine, however, gave a completely different account, saying she doesn't want custody, she wants control. She claimed in court documents that Kirk had purposefully estranged her from Cannon's existence. In order to keep the boy away from his biological mother, she said he altered visitation dates, skipped co-parenting, mediation meetings, and used Rasheeda as a buffer. She broke several agreements by bringing receipts, screenshots, text messages, and even security footage of Kirk dropping Cannon off at school without telling her. However, the shocking revelation was that Jasmine claimed that Kirk and Rasheeda had started making legal decisions on Cannon's behalf without her permission, such as switching his therapist and enrolling him in a new private school. The courtroom turned upside down at that point. Sitting in a fitted suit, Kirk attempted to keep his cool, but Rasheeda's body language said otherwise. She was obviously holding back, rigid and protective. Gasps filled the courtroom as Jasmine's attorney called a witness, Cannon's former creche director, who stated that Rasheeda frequently referred to herself as Cannon's primary mother. The judge bent over. "Has Miss Rasheeda Frost ever declared herself to be the boy's legal guardian?" The judge inquired. Rasheeda's expression broke for the first time when the witness responded. She introduced herself as his mother every single time. Paparazzi flocked to the exit after the court adjourned. Jasmine came out with her legal team, keeping her head up. "This isn't about drama," she told reporters. As Kirk and Rasheeda departed through a private side door, she said, "This is about my son. I've been silenced for years while they played family with my child. No declarations, no just silence, no eye contact." The internet went crazy when it came to social media again. Supporters were divided. Jasmine was commended by some for retaliating. She was accused by some of creating drama in order to be relevant. However, Jasmine's attorney's announcement that she intended to subpoena video from previous LH seasons to demonstrate that Rasheeda and Kirk had misrepresented themselves on national television as the child's only carers. Now, it was more than just parenting. It has to do with legal liability and picture modification. Insiders at VH1 were also shaken. If the judge allowed access to the uncut video, production would be made public. The formal custody case may include modified narratives, storylines, and behind-the-scenes exchanges. This could set a new precedent, an internet legal expert stated. In a child custody trial, reality TV is being utilized as evidence. We've Rasheeda, a woman who established a reputation for devotion, family, and tenacity, is suddenly presented as a co-conspirator in a custody dispute amid all of this. I have never seen it before. Compared to the first court hearing, the second one was much more explosive. Kirk and Rasheeda were prepared this time, or so they pondered. Binders, timelines, attendance records from Cannon's school, and even video footage demonstrating Kirk's constant presence as a father were brought in by their legal team. Rasheeda sat next to Kirk like a cook, wearing a Chris Powers suit and showing no signs of emotion. They had a well-defined plan: demonstrate stability, cast doubt on Jasmine's intentions, and present themselves as the responsible parents. However, Jasmine arrived prepared to garner attention. Her new attorney, a well-known custody lawyer with a reputation for winning difficult celebrity cases, was fierce. In a matter of minutes, he presented proof that Kirk had overlooked. Jasmine was not informed of 4 medical appointments and 9 of the 14 scheduled visitation updates. He displayed a text in which Kirk responded to Jasmine's inquiry over Cannon's ear infection by saying, "Don't worry about it. We handled it." The courtroom let out a gasp. The judge bent over. Rasheeda tensed up. And then the shocking thing happened. Rasheeda allegedly verbally threatened Jasmine off camera. In her sworn evidence, Jasmine claimed that during a production taping, Rasheeda grabbed her away and said, "You need to." The courtroom exploded. "Remain in your place or you'll lose more than time with your son." Rasheeda's gaze grew wide. Despite her attorney's objections, Jasmine's team thought they had a winning argument. A covert tape, the court presented a brief footage, but the audio was muffled, where Rasheeda's voice, clearly hers, could be heard saying, "Girl, I'm telling you, you better chill out with these lawyers before you make it worse for yourself." According to Jasmine's team, the statement was a blatant attempt to intimidate a co-parent during an ongoing legal dispute. Beyond the courtroom, social outrage erupted in the media. After all this time pretending to be the mature one, Rasheeda actually stated that fans demanded that Rasheeda publicly apologize or take a permanent seat. And one fan's tweet about the Frost family mishap became viral on X, formerly Twitter. However, it didn't end there. Jasmine revealed that she was shocked to see her own mother, Fierce.com, and collected. According to Jasmine's mother's testimony, she actively participated in parenting Cannon as Jasmine battled to uphold her legal rights. She accused Rasheeda of acting indifferent only while the cameras were filming and portrayed Kirk as domineering. The judge paid close attention. There was complete silence in the courtroom. After keeping her cool all morning, Rasheeda eventually cracked. The camera caught her leaning in and whispering to her attorney, "I should never have entered this situation with him once more." A single picture of the event went viral. It was quickly picked up by blogs. Rasheeda feels bad about standing up for Kirk once more. The headlines cried out. Fans argued over whether she was embarrassed that everything had gone wrong or if she was finally realizing the reality. Following the hearing, Kirk made an effort to mend fences. In a dimly lit Instagram video, he said, fans were not amused. I just want what's best for my son. All this drama ain't helping him. You wanted what's best when you lied, cheated, and hid your son for a year," was the top comment. Meanwhile, Jasmine's legal team filed an official request to examine financial records, alleging that Kirk had made money off of Cannon's reputation through brand agreements, social media posts, and romantic and hip-hop scenes without giving Jasmine fair compensation or establishing a trust for their child. If this turns out to be the case, Kirk may face sanctions and VH1 may need to reorganize any future agreements with minors. Additionally, as though the judge mandated a thorough assessment of both houses because the Frost situation could not grow worse, child psychologists will now be consulted to determine who gave Cannon a more secure, encouraging, and emotionally safe environment. Every routine, every home, every little detail is scrutinized. It was a ticking time bomb that eventually exploded. Kirk and Rasheeda were more severely impacted than anticipated by the court-mandated home evaluations. A week-long in-depth examination of their parenting, personal life, and mental stability replaced what they had anticipated as a brief tour by an impartial third party. Child psychologists conducted separate interviews with Cannon, spoke with educators, and even asked the Frosts for family therapy notes. The results of these interviews shocked the love and hip-hop community and the case. Cannon allegedly told assessors that he sees mommy Jasmine less because daddy says this. According to leaked reports from a court source, she is evil. Any delusion Kirk had been attempting to uphold in court was destroyed by that one sentence. Even worse, Cannon allegedly said, I get in trouble if I ask about mommy too much, and called Rasheeda nice, but not my real mom. These remarks were recorded in an official psychological examination and might legally be seen as indicators of parental alienation, a major warning sign in custody fights. The results apparently saddened Rasheeda. She allegedly said, I've been there for that child, to a producer off camera. I attempted to assist in resolving the situation, but I didn't ask for it or cause it. Jasmine, on the other hand, took advantage of the momentum and filed an emergency motion for temporary sole custody, citing emotional instability in Cannon's current environment. Her attorneys presented a screenshot of a text message from Kirk to a family member that said, we ain't letting Jasmine confuse that boy again, to support their claim that joint custody was not in the child's best interest if Kirk was manipulating the boy to fear or distrust his mother, a statement that was construed in court as concrete proof of deliberate, emotional manipulation. In the meantime, social media was on fire, with thousands of people sharing their opinions about how children suffer the most when adults do. The results of the leaked home study sparked a firestorm. Weaponized custody. One tweet went viral. Kirk made a mess. Rasheeda attempted to clean it up. and now the child is crying in the middle. This isn't parenting, it's trauma. Even celebrities started to comment. Erica Mena tweeted, "I know what it's similar to fighting for your child against a resentful, conceited man. Jasmine, don't give up. Rasheeda should have stayed out of that. When it's not your child, you got to play your position," wrote former castmate Joseline Hernandez in an article. Rasheeda, who is renowned for maintaining her composure in the face of public turmoil, ultimately snapped, "Her being the bigger person doesn't mean being the punching bag." It was reposted across every major gossip blog within hours. However, the real drama was still brewing because VH1 had officially turned the court case into a full-fledged storyline for the upcoming LHHATL Season 1 to be reunion. The custody drama will be discussed on a live panel, with a professional legal specialist explaining the issue to viewers. According to producers, Kirk was enraged. He allegedly threatened to withdraw from the reunion filming unless VH1 excluded the courtroom, but the network allegedly declined. Now that it's public knowledge, a producer supposedly informed him, "You also gave up your life a long time ago." Insiders claim that even Jasmine was asked to appear, but she only consented provided she had the last word on how her kid was depicted. Back in court, the judge mandated that the parenting plan be reviewed by a third-party mediator. Forward, if Kirk and Jasmine couldn't agree on visits, school choices, or counseling, the mediator would have the power to overrule them both. To put it another way, the Frosts were no longer in charge. Legally, emotionally, and publicly, Rasheeda was also caught in the crossfire. Everything changed on the fourth court hearing because the judge was clearly tired of the theatrics. Judge Barnett made it apparent following months of back and forth. Social media outbursts, leaked video, and a near mutiny by VH1 producers over shooting rights. It's not love and hip-hop in this courtroom. This is the life of a child. She assumed complete control of the case after making that declaration. The results of the neutral mediator's report and the child psychologist's assessment would now be the court's primary sources of information, and both presented a dismal picture, not only for Kirk, but for Rasheeda as well. Conflicting tales at each home caused Cannon to exhibit symptoms of emotional bewilderment and anxiety. According to the official examination report, the psychologist saw that he frequently avoided asking questions about his mother, Jasmine, for fear of upsetting his father. Additionally, he said that he feels guilty about being pleased with his mother because it could make Rasheeda unhappy. Even if they were inadvertent, these remarks were regarded as grave signs of covert emotional manipulation. Additionally, even though Rasheeda never vocally abused Jasmine, her unseen impact on the child's comprehension of family structure had turned harmful. The judge rejected Kirk's attorney's attempt to downplay the results by claiming the youngster had just become confused by the tension. Judge Barnett immediately ordered a change in custody procedures, giving Jasmine primary physical custody during the week and giving Kirk weekends and alternate holidays. That was intended for the Jasmine would be the one driving Cannon to school, helping with homework, scheduling doctor's appointments, and making daily decisions for the first time since the scandal surfaced. Kirk appeared astonished. Rasheeda did not even wince. However, it didn't end there. In a vicious turn, the judge also put VH1 and Kirk under strict control by ruling that any future parenting choices would require Jasmine's signed agreement and that any future shooting involving Cannon would need to be approved in writing. Both parties ran the possibility of being found in contempt of court and paying a fine of up to $25,000 for each infraction of the order. The brand of Rasheeda suffered greatly. Several women's empowerment platforms discreetly removed her from their guest speaker schedules a few days following the ruling. "We love Rasheeda, but we can't welcome someone into a healing area who was recently exposed for encouraging emotional harm to a child." The reaction was swift and intense. Comments such as "How you preach boss energy while letting your husband break a child behind closed doors," and "You should have bowed out when you realized that boy wasn't yours to defend," swamped her Instagram account. Rasheeda responded by releasing a rare pre-recorded video in which she sat in her boutique and said, "I never wanted to replace anyone, I just wanted to help. But maybe I got lost in protecting something that was never mine to save. It was an emotional moment." One Carly read, "Never want to miss a moment." While some followers applauded her for finally owning up to her mistakes, others said it was too little, too late. "Woo, chilly," she said through her own shade. They begin filming an apology when the truth is revealed. As a blatant swipe at Rasheeda and her part in protecting Kirk, she tweeted it with a meme of a lady packing luggage. Kirk, on the other hand, remains silent, making no appearances, videos, or statements. According to people close to production, he was in heavy damage control, attempting to stop Jasmine from filing a second lawsuit, alleging emotional distress and defamation for previous LHH scenes that described her as unstable and jealous. In the meantime, Jasmine's attorneys hinted at another shocking revelation, one they were ready to drop if Kirk attempted to appeal. "Let's just say," the lawyer teased, "we've got more footage and it ain't flattering." VH1 hurried behind the scenes as executives feared the case might completely destroy the Frost brand. And with it, fans conjectured that it might be another recorded phone call. DM threads, or even audio of Kirk trying to coach Cannon's replies. Whatever it was, the threat was obvious. Don't push it. Rasheeda was offered a pivot package, a spin-off possibility that focused on her healing journey apart from Kirk and the controversy, while producers started covertly documenting Jasmine's daily life with Cannon in preparation for what they internally referred to as a redemption relaunch. Although it's unclear if she will accept, one thing is certain. This custody dispute permanently shattered the viewers never imagined seeing Rasheeda standing by herself in court with her hands folded and no Kirk in sight. Following the judge's harsh custody ruling, Kirk became silent, and when it came time to review his visitation compliance during a follow-up hearing, he didn't even show up, which sent shockwaves through the legal system. Rasheeda showed up on time, looking well-groomed but clearly exhausted. But it became evident that Kirk had bailed for the first time, leaving Rasheeda to bear the shame once more. The judge nodded, then turned to Rasheeda and asked if she wanted to speak on her husband's behalf. The courtroom murmured as Jasmine's lawyer leaned into the microphone and asked the judge to take judicial notice of Kirk's inconsistent involvement, arguing that it wasn't just a legal failure but a pattern of emotional abandonment. "No, Your Honor," Rasheeda said after pausing and taking a deep breath. "I have nothing left to defend." In less than an hour, that sentence grabbed headlines. After reading the blogs, Rasheeda eventually departs from Kirk to deal with his own repercussions. She battled for him, and now she's free of him. Thousands of women praised her bravery for finally separating herself from Kirk's pandemonium. But the harm was already done. The Frost name, long thought to be one of LHTL's last standing marriages, was now associated with deceit, manipulation, and loss. Meanwhile, Jasmine was doing well in court, and her lawyers presented Cannon's updated therapist report, which stated that the child had significantly improved emotionally since he started spending more regular time with his mother. The report even contained Cannon's own words, written during a counseling exercise. Jasmine said, "Mommy listens to me. I don't feel like I have to lie anymore." Several individuals in the courtroom, including Rasheeda, allegedly started crying at that statement. Outside of court, Jasmine's reputation was rapidly changing. She shared a sweet picture of herself and Cannon baking cookies at home with the comment, "Just me and my baby." Previously seen as the side chick who destroyed a family, followers were suddenly supporting her as a mother who had to battle to be heard. Just love, no lies, no cameras. It accumulated more than 120,000 likes within a day. Black motherhood is not perfect, but it's powerful, Tamar Braxton wrote after reposting it. "Jasmine, you fought and won. I salute you." However, the most dramatic turn was still to come. Sensing the change in momentum, VH1 launched a two-part custody special, including legal experts, interviews, family therapists, and cast members affected by disputes over custody. A behind-the-scenes look at parenthood, single parenting, and regaining your reputation after being villainized by reality TV is what the network supposedly offered Jasmine in her own digital miniseries. Rasheeda was still in shock over the consequences. Even her team was divided. According to sources, some advised her to formally apologize to Jasmine and sever all ties with Kirk. Some advised her to be cautious and let the drama to subside. For once though, Rasheeda was not paying attention to anyone. She shared a single video. She was staring straight into the camera without any makeup or script. "I supported someone who didn't support me, and I believed that my loyalty made me powerful. Real strength, however, is the ability to leave someone who keeps causing you to bleed in order to clean up their mess." Additionally, she shut down the laptop after that. Just the facts, with no captions or commentary. Not only did the final decision put an end to a legal battle, it revealed the most profound fissures in a reality TV empire. Following months of tumultuous court proceedings, moving testimony, and social media conflict, Judge Barnett delivered a last blow in the custody dispute between Frost and Washington. Cannon's mother, Jasmine Washington, will be his primary residence. Limited visitation rights are granted to Mr. Frost, subject to regular presence and adherence to all co-parenting guidelines. Suspended filming rights indefinitely unless both parents give their consent. In an instant, Kirk Frost lost control, the one thing he had always held on to, as well as custody and credibility. Rasheeda remained silent during the verdict. No tears, no complaints. However, everyone understood on the inside that this wasn't just the conclusion of a legal matter. It was the breakdown of everything she had been trying to keep together for years. Jasmine got up and gave her lawyer a hug after the judge left the bench. Rasheeda left by herself. Kirk didn't even show up. The blogs exploded. Kirk loses the custody dispute. Rasheeda's quiet departure says it all. Legal criticism causes VH1's Frost legacy to melt. Jasmine has finished her retaliation, while memes tore Kirk to pieces. Tributes to Jasmine's journey lit up Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. However, Rasheeda, who many now felt had sacrificed her, was the target of the fans' sympathy. Tranquilly for a man who never really earned her allegiance. The damage control went into overdrive back at VH1. The Custody War special was hurriedly completed by editors. who even included new scenes of Jasmine and Cannon reading bedtime tales, riding scooters, and making unplanned events that completely changed her story. She was no longer the antagonist. She was the mother who never gave up. Along with Rasheeda, she made one last comment that was only published in Essence magazine, but she rejected to participate in the special. Sometimes we cling to people because we want the past to have significance. However, you come to the realization that the reality was never about them when you eventually let go. It has to do with who you become in their absence. The article went viral. Oprah shared it again. The caption for Taraji P. Henson's photo was, "Healing ain't pretty." But it's Kirk attempted to respond with a feeble Instagram live, but comments were disabled in a matter of minutes. His picture was burned. According to reports, Jasmine is in negotiations for a documentary series about motherhood, development, and overcoming toxic co-parenting relationships. Rasheeda has changed her platform's name to Unbreakable and quietly rebranded it with an emphasis on women's well-being and inner recovery. The LHL team might never be the same. In actuality, though, this was no longer about television. It told the story of a lady who recovered motherhood, a child caught in the crossfire, and another who ultimately decided to live in peace. The message was evident when the court's doors closed for the final time. Truth always prevails in the end, regardless of how long the conflict lasts. This was more than just a plot. This was genuine suffering, real parenting, and real repercussions. Against all obstacles, Jasmine Washington battled to take back her motherhood. Rasheeda emerged from the mist of poisonous allegiance. Kirk, on the other hand, lost everything by attempting to play both sides. This story is for you if you have ever experienced erasure, manipulation, or silence within your own family. Leave a comment if you think kids should see the whole truth, not the edited version for television. Show this video to a friend who is battling for custody. The next part of this drama is already in the works, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. LHA and Rasheeda are the numbers. Kirk Frost's number, Jasmine Washington's number. Battle for number custody, family court number. TV drama with a number of realities. The number women are unbreakable. Protect your number. Cannon. Mom wins the number. Cannon. Mom wins the number.